morning. Today we are going to start exercise 16C. Exercise 16C. So far we have seen the derivative of the algebraic function when they are given in the form of sum or difference. Right? Now we are moving on to the product form and quotient form. So if the algebraic functions are given in the form of product or in the form of quotient, right? How can we differentiate? We have differentiation rule for the product form and also we have for the quotient form. So I'll show you. If your function is in the form of u into v, where u and v are the two functions. U and v are any two functions, and between the two functions there is multiplication sign. There is no sign means there is multiplication sign. So if we have such function, how can we differentiate? Right? This is called as product form. Okay? Derivative of product form. So in this case, du dy by dx, we will differentiate. What we can do is, we can differentiate one of the function at a time. Okay? We will differentiate only one function at a time. So maybe if we are differentiating the first function at a time, then the second function will remain as it is. We will not do anything, and then we will differentiate the first function, du over dx. After the first function is differentiated, now we have to differentiate the another function. So put the plus sign, and then we can keep the first function silent and differentiate the second function. So this is the rule for differentiating a function in the product form. Am I very clear? Likewise, we have the method of differentiation for the quotient form, u over v. If you have your function in the form of quotient, right? In the form of fraction, we call it as quotient form. So if we have such function in the quotient form, then how can we differentiate? The rule is we keep the denominator silent. We keep denominator silent and differentiate the numerator, du over dx. Now this is quotient law, so put minus sign here. Now next time, keep the numerator silent and differentiate the denominator. Is it alright? And then in the denominator, you have to square the denominator. You have to just square the denominator. So this is the rule for the derivative of product form and quotient form. Is this okay? So we will keep this rule in our mind and then we will differentiate. Is it okay? So I will make division. One side I will show you the product law of quotients, and other side I will be showing you quotient law quotients, so that you will get very clear picture. So I made the division. This division will give you more clear picture. Right? Same time, one by one, we'll be taking one question of each time. In the previous exercise, when we differentiated the given functions by addition or subtraction rule, there also you might have noticed that we come across with the product law quotient and then the quotient law quotient. We met this kind of quotient, but that time I told you that we have method of differentiating such kind of function, but till the previous exercise we did not learn, and therefore we try to solve all these kind of quotients also by converting them into addition or subtraction form. Is it very clear? So, but now since we are learning, now we have learned the method of differentiating the product law quotients and then the quotient form quotients. So we will be differentiating the product form quotients by product form method and quotient law quotients by quotient law method. Okay. So one question of this product form. The first question of exercise 16C is, your function is y is equal to ax plus b, right? And then another function is cx plus d, right? So this is the function in the given in the product form. So we will apply this rule and we will try to differentiate. So this we will assume as the first function we will assume as u, and the other function we will assume as v. Is this clear? So by assuming, we will have clear understanding. This will be taken as u and this is taken as v. Right? Now just apply the rule. So we will differentiate now. First of all, we are differentiating u. So v will be kept silent. Cx plus d is silent, and then the derivative of the first function u, that is ax plus b. Right? Now first function will be kept this time silent, ax plus b, and then find the derivative of the another function cx plus d. Right? Am I very clear or not? Now here I would like to clarify one thing, is because it is a product form, and then in the product form you are differentiating one function, then keeping the other function silent, and then you are writing plus sign, right? Therefore in the product form the order does not matter. Whether you are differentiating u first or you are differentiating v first, it will not matter. This will not matter because this is addition, and you know addition is commutative. Whether you write 3 plus 4 or you write 4 plus 3, the result will be same only. That is why here the order does not matter. Right? Now we'll continue. The first function is as it is, cx plus d, right? And now we are differentiating this one. Now when you are differentiating here, you will apply the addition rule. The derivative of addition. The derivative of addition. That means we will differentiate first of all ax, and then we will differentiate b. Am I very clear? So now when you are differentiating ax, right, a constant is with a variable, so it will remain as it is only. Only we will find the derivative of x, and then in the previous video you have seen the derivative of x was 1. Clear? So for here, for this part, the derivative of this ax will be just a, whereas this is only constant, and the derivative of only constant is always 0. Therefore from here we are getting only as a. Am I clear or not? Now next part, ax plus b. Ax plus b as it is, and then we will similarly calculate the derivative of another part, and here c is constant and it is with a variable, so it will remain as it is. Only we will find the derivative of x. Once again, the derivative of x is equal to 1. Therefore the derivative of this part will be c, and this derivative will be 0. So this is your c. Am I clear or not? After this we can simplify. This is now the differentiation is done. Now only simplification, normal algebraic simplification. So multiply acx plus ad, and this side you are getting again acx bc, right? So what we can do is acx is same like term, therefore they will be added, their coefficients. So this will be your 2acx, and then this ad and bc. AD and BC will remain as it is only, AD plus BC, because in this we don't have any common factor. So this is your answer. Am I clear or not? So this is one example of your question number 1 of the product form. Now I will show you one example of the question form. Right? This was question number 1. This is question number 1. This is question number 1. Now, I will show you one example of question number 7. Right? First of all, I am showing you one example. After that, I will take you in sequence. Okay? Here, your function is y is equal to 2x plus 5 divided by 3x minus 2. 3x minus 2. This is just for introduction, right? I just want to introduce you with the two different laws of differentiation. The product law of differentiation and the quotient law of differentiation. So, let us begin this question. Here the numerator will be taken as u and denominator will be taken as v, right? So very interesting method, dy by dx. I'm very sure that all of you, each one of you are very responsible, very smart, so you will definitely enjoy the differentiation chapter. Now here v is 3x minus 2, so this will be kept as it is, 3x minus 2, and then the derivative of the numerator, that is 2x plus 5, and then there is minus sign. Now numerator will be kept as it is, 2x plus 5, right? And then we will calculate the derivative of the denominator, that is 3x minus 2, and now divided by 3x minus 2 whole square. Am I very clear or not? Just keep watching. If you have doubt, you can ask me. Now we are going to differentiate. Now the rest differentiation is very easy. 3x minus 2 is as it is, 3x minus 2 is as it is, and now we are going to calculate the derivative of this one. Derivative of this part will be only 2, this will be just 0. So this will be 2 minus. Now 2x plus 5 is as it is, and then the derivative of this part will be very simple, you know, it is 3. And in the denominator we have 3x minus 2 whole square. Are you getting it? Okay, now in the numerator we will simplify. Now we need to simplify in the numerator, right? If it is necessary, we can simplify the denominator also, but just now let us focus on the numerator. So 2 3s are 6x minus 4. Now you are going to multiply these two, right? And before there is a minus sign, that means the sign of each term of this product will become changed, So 3 2s are 6x, and then this is minus 6x. Then 3 5 are 15, and then this is minus 15. Right? Denominator we will write as it is for the time being. Only at the end we will see whether it is necessary to be operated or not. Now 6x and minus 6x cancel, right? And this is minus 4 and then minus 15. Your answer will be minus 19 over 3x minus 2 whole square. So this was the introduction of quotient law. So now you have seen one question on quotient law and one question on product law. With this question, at least you have understood the rules. This is your question. When we write, we must write reader friendly so that the viewer should not have any kind of difficulty. So this, the one which is in the red color box is your question. Is it okay? Because I want my students to be very comfortable when you watch the video, right? So this is one example of product law and another example of quotient law. Clear? And now we will go, after this we will go systematic. So first of all, I will show you some examples on product law, and then after that I will take you to some examples on quotient law. With this, thank you. Now this is question number 2, and this is example of product law question. You can see here the first function is in the first bracket and the other function is in the second bracket. Is it okay? Now if you remember in the previous exercise, when we differentiated the functions using the addition subtraction rule, in that case how we have differentiated this, we can differentiate by addition subtraction method also. So we can simplify the two and then make this as one expression, and then after that you can differentiate each and every term. That's what we can do, right? That means from here what we learn is in differentiation, one question can be differentiated by many methods. Okay, you can apply same question. You can do it by addition subtraction rule. You can do it by multiplication rule. I mean the product law. Or you can do by quotient law, right? Even the quotient law question also can be done by addition subtraction method, right? So this you will learn in the long run. Slowly you will know all these things. Okay. So let us apply. Just now we are in the product rule, so we will do the questions by product rule only. So let us start differentiating. So this first one, the first will be this is our u and this is our v. Okay, this is the beginning, so that's why I'm marking it. From next year I will not mark. Now let us start. So dy by dx. will be equal to, we are going to differentiate the first function. So second function we will keep as it is, 7x square, second x to the power 8 plus 20x plus 5. First function kept as it is, another function is going to be differentiated, right? So this is x to the power 100, then plus 2x to the power 50 minus 3, right? Other function now plus. So the function which is differentiated will be now kept as it is, will be 2x to the power 50 minus 3, and then differentiate the other function which is not differentiated. So that is 7x to the power 8 plus 20x and plus 5. Hope now you will be getting very clear picture. So the first function will remain as it is, 7x to the power 8 plus 20x plus 5, because we are not applying any derivative differentiation rule here. So it is as it is. Now partwise, for this what will be? We will apply nx x to the power n formula. So this becomes 100 x to the power 99. Then this will become 100 x to the power 49. You know, like we are applying x to the power n formula, and this will become 0. So no need of writing. Now next one is x to the power 100 as it is, plus 2x to the power 50, then minus 3. This whole function will remain as it is, only this part will be differentiated. This is 56 x to the power 7, and this is 20. Are you getting me? Any doubt? And after this, what we can do is, we need to simplify. But since the experiments are very big, right? Therefore, in the book, I have seen that they have left the answer in the same form. In the same form. Is it okay? Nothing has been done. But if you want, you can simplify. If you simplify unnecessarily, it will be complicated for you. It's not very complicated, but then it will take time. Okay? So that is not required for this question. Am I understood? Now we will move on to question number 5. Now after question number 2, we are moving on to question number 5. Question number 5. Now in the question number 5, you can see how many algebraic expressions do we have. In the previous question, we had 2 algebraic expressions. Here, how many algebraic expressions do we have? There are 3. 1 plus 2x, 1. 2 plus 3x, number 2. And 3 plus 4x to the power 3 is 3. Here there are 3 functions. Right? So, does not matter, we will do in the same manner. At a time, we will differentiate only one function. So when you are differentiating one function, the other functions will remain silent. That's all. Nothing to do. Okay? So whether we have 2 functions or we have 3 functions or we have 10 functions, the rule will be same only. So with this, we are going to begin. This is dy by dx. Right? You can choose anyone to find out the derivative first of all. So maybe I will start from the first only. The other 2 will be silent. So 2 plus 3x, then 3 plus 4x whole cube. I am differentiating the first function. So it is 1 plus 2x. Right? Second function now. Now 1 plus 2x, the first function, and the third function will be kept as it is, 3 plus 4x whole to the power 3, and we will differentiate the function number 2, 2 plus 3x. Clear? Now I will write here plus. This time we are going to differentiate the third function. So first function and the second function will remain silent. 2 plus 3x, and then we will only differentiate the third function. 3 plus 4x whole to the power 3. Very clear, no? Now only these parts will be differentiated. Rest will be all as it is. 2 plus 3x. This is 3 plus 4x whole to the power 3, and the derivative of this part will be, this will be 0, and from here you will get only 2. So 2 into 2. Right? Come to the next part now. 1 plus 2x as it is, 3 plus 4x whole cube, as it is, and from here you will get the derivative of this part as equal to 0, and then from here you will get only 3. Alright, now come to the last part. Okay, last part I will write here. 1 plus 2x will be as it is, and then 2 plus 3x will be as it is. We will now find the derivative of this. So first of all, we will find the derivative of the power, and then we will find the derivative of the base. So when you are finding the derivative of the power, it becomes 3 into 3 plus 4x whole square, and x to the power n formula. Okay, and when you are calculating the derivative of the power, the base will remain untouched, right? Nothing to do. And now we are going to calculate the derivative of the base. So base is 3 plus 4x. This derivative will be 0, and from here you will get 4. This is 4. Alright, now what we can do is, we can write the final answer, right? We are not going to operate, because if you are operating, then it will be too lengthy. This is power cube, so first of all you have to expand it, and then after expansion you have to multiply with this and this. So therefore the book is demanding not to go for detailed calculation. Now you can just simply modify if anything can be possible. So here it is 2, nothing can be done. Here it is 3, and then this is here 12. So as it is. So we can write here, final answer is 2 plus 3x, 2 plus 3x into, okay, this 2 we will write in the beginning. This 2 we will write in the beginning. And then 3 plus 4x whole to the power 3. This part is done. Now this part is 3 into 1 plus 2x into 3 plus 4x whole to the power 3. And from here you will get 3 plus 4, 3 into 2, 3 into 4, 12. So this is plus 12, 1 plus 2x, 2 plus 3x, and then last is 3 plus 4x whole to the power 2. This is your final answer. Is it okay? We don't need to simplify this anymore now. This is your question number 5. Thank you. This is question number 10. Whenever you see your function in the fractional form, please remember that it belongs to quotient law. So we will apply the quotient law, right? So let us start this question. dy by dx is equal to, the numerator will be assumed as u and denominator will be assumed as v, right? And then you know that the v you keep as it is silent. So 2x square plus 11x plus 8. Please remember, in the quotient law, we first find the derivative of the numerator. So therefore, the derivative of the numerator will be calculated. 3x plus 2, right? And then we write the minus sign, because this is a quotient law question. So then now u will be kept as it is, the numerator will be kept silent, and then we will find the derivative of the denominator, that is v. So this is 2x square plus 11x plus 8. And then finally what we do is we square the denominator. We square the denominator. So this is 2x square plus 11x and plus 8 square. Right? Now numerator will be differentiated, whichever part. So this is as it is, 2x square plus 11x plus 8 as it is, and then we will differentiate this one. From here we will get the derivative of this part as equal to 3 minus 3x plus 2, and now we will differentiate this part. So 2 will remain as it is, right? And then x square, x to the power n formula, so into 2x to the power 1, so no need. And here you will get the derivative of 11x as equal to 11, and the derivative of this part will be equal to 0. Denominator, again as it is repeated, this is 2x square plus 11x plus 8 whole square. Right? After this, now we can operate. We can operate. 3, so 6x square plus 33x plus 24. Isn't it? Now we are going to operate this one. We are going to multiply this, and then there is a minus sign. So when you multiply, each term sign will change. Here, because everything in this two bracket, you can see everything is positive. That means the product of each term each term in the product will be positive, but because of this everything will become negative. So this is 3 and this is 4. So 4 3s are 12x minus 12x square. Now this one 33x minus 33x, right? Now these two 4 2s are 8x minus 8x and then minus 22 divided by 2x square plus 11x plus 8 whole square. When I am doing the calculation, when you are watching the video, please watch the video very carefully because sometimes human error is human error. You know, like I can also make mistakes sometime, you know. So you can rectify and you can also let me know that which portion there is anything to be corrected. Now we can correct the like term and write the final answer. So 6x square minus 12x square is minus 6x square. 33x and minus 33x is cancelled. So you are left with minus 8x, right? And 24 minus 22 is plus 2 divided by 2x square plus 11x plus 8 whole to the power 2. Am I very clear? So this is your answer. This is your answer. So with this question, now you might be getting more clear picture about how to differentiate the question in the question form. Is it okay? Thank you. Now this is question number 12, right? This question number 12 is made very beautifully. It's really tricky, right? When you see the question, you may see this as a product law question because t square into t plus 1 to the power minus 1, right? So this appears to be like product, but actually this is not product law question, this is quotient law question because the power of this one is minus 1. So if I make the power of this one positive, that means this part will come in the denominator. So the question will then become, if I modify, this question will become as s is equal to t square over t plus 1 whole to the power minus 1. Sorry, t to the power 1. And when the power is 1, we don't write. So this question, when it is modified, it can come back into this form. So when you see it in this form, then it is a quotient term. It is a quotient term. But here, as I told you, that in the derivative, in the differentiation, one quotient can be done by many different methods, isn't it? So this quotient, we have freedom. We can do it by product law also. Okay, we can do this quotient by product law also, or if we want, we can do it by quotient law also. In both the cases, the answer will be same. Is it okay? So there is nothing to worry. Whatever way you feel comfortable, you can go ahead. Now I am going to do it by quotient law. So I will start. Now this time, in your question, you can see one variable we have is s, another variable we have is t. That means this time s is going to be differentiated in terms of t. In the other previous questions, you used to have the variable as y and x. Therefore, you differentiated y in terms of x. Okay. Now this time, now it will be different. S will be differentiated in terms of t. Therefore, the derivative we will write as ds over dt. Okay. These are small things that we need to keep in mind. Denominator will be as it is t plus 1, right? And then we will find the derivative of the numerator. This is t square. Alright? Minus sign. T square will be silent, and then we will find the derivative of the another one, that is t plus 1. And then down, the denominator will be squared. So t plus 1 whole to the power 2. Okay? Very simple question. This is t plus 1 as it is. And then for this, we will apply h to the power n formula. So it becomes 2t, right? This is t square, and this derivative will be just 1. So into 1. This derivative will be 0, so no need of writing. Denominator as it is. This is t plus 1 whole square. Now you can operate the numerator. 2t into t, 2t square. Right? 2t into 1 is 2t. Right? Minus this t square. T square into 1 is t. T square. And this is t plus 1 whole square. Is it okay? In the next step, we can collect the like term. So 2t square minus t square is t square. And this is plus 2t divided by t plus 1 whole square. Am I very clear? Am I very clear or not? So this becomes your answer. Thank you. Okay, now this is another question, and this question is once again in the form of quotient form. So we will differentiate it. dy by dx is equal to, our denominator will be as it is, x square plus 2x plus 4, derivative of the numerator, x square plus 2x plus 5 minus, this time x square plus 2x plus 5 is kept as it is, then derivative of the another function, x square plus 2x plus 4, and then square of the denominator, that is x square plus 2x plus 4 whole to the power 2. Now let us start differentiating. First function will be as it is, x square plus 2x plus 4, because this is not going to be differentiated, only differentiation of the other function. So this will be first derivative of x square is 2x, derivative of 2x is 2, and derivative of 5 is 0. No need. Minus x square plus 2x plus 5, and then the derivative of this as 2x plus 2 divided by x square plus 2x plus 4 whole square. So derivative, is it getting clear? Okay, very nice. What we can see here is, I thought now we will multiply, but we don't need to multiply because we can see here there is something common, right? 2x plus 2 and 2x plus 2 common. So take it out. 2x plus 2, the common factor will be taken out. 2x plus 2 is out, and then remaining will be what? From here you will get x square, from this part you will get x square plus 2x plus 4, and from this part you will get the second bracket, and before that there is a minus sign, so inside all the signs will change. So minus x square minus 2x minus 5, right? Denominator once again as it is, x square plus 2x plus 4 whole square, right? Now this minus x square, this plus x square cancel, this plus 2x, this minus 2x cancel, and now we have 5 and then minus 4, that is minus 1. And from here we will take out the two common factors. So with this minus 1, and this is becoming minus 2 into x plus 1, right? Divided by x square plus 2x plus 4 whole square. Am I very clear? So this becomes your answer. So today we have seen some few examples on the product law form and then also on quotient law form. So with this many examples, at least you might have got a very clear idea of how to differentiate a function given in the product form and how to differentiate a function given in the quotient form. Clear? So today we are ending the session here itself. In the next video, we will see some more questions of the same exercise, 16C, right? Till then, thank you so much. Take care, stay at home, and enjoy learning maths. Thank you.